But we'll move on over to some WWE news, and they confirmed a report that had come out last week from WrestleVotes and Indiana Sports Journal, and that is that they have announced a multi-year partnership with the Indiana Sports Corp to bring multiple events to Indianapolis, including future WrestleManias and SummerSlams, which were both listed as two-night events. So as we expected, SummerSlam will be moving to a permanent two-night format. And then this will kick off with the Royal Rumble next year that is set for February the 1st. And these three events will all be taking place at Lucas Oil Stadium. And this will also include other events, Raw, SmackDown, NXT in various cities throughout Indiana. They have not announced the length of the deal, although it was the Indiana Sports Journal had alluded to it being around a 7-year deal. But the big question is like how much money this is worth. But I would say, Wade, this is the template of what they want. Multi-year deals of bringing these big events to one city and utilizing this as sort of your guinea pig of what they want to be doing with the UFC, with the WWE, or both. And I'm certain this is a very lucrative deal that WWE is signing and bringing all of these events to Indianapolis.
I mean, other than Saudi Arabia, obviously, like, is this the biggest single deal that I guess for a live event that WWE has ever announced?
I mean, obviously the combined amount has to be outside of Saudi Arabia just because of the volume of shows that this is going to bring. And we know sort of like the value of WrestleMania next year in Las Vegas, but that's a two-night event. Like, this is going to be compounded over years of shows, and you can see the idea of expanding SummerSlam to 2 nights. We know that, and they have not listed what years Mania and SummerSlam will be. Like WrestleMania, like we're probably looking years away because it would be hard to imagine them doing the Rumble next year and then coming back so quick with another. Because you want to see, the idea for this for Indianapolis is tourism, and if you were to travel for a Rumble, for instance, you're probably not coming back in August. So you would want these spread out. But my question to you, Wei, is like, are we that far away? I brought this up before, the idea of like 2-night Royal Rumbles. Like, are we that far away from that? Like, that is an event tailor-made to go 2 nights.
Yeah. They would do 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights, 7-night events if they were going to get paid for it, and if they were going to attract a big enough crowd.
We're basically getting 3 nights in Toronto next weekend. Like, it's all spread out, but I mean, this is like what they are doing. Like, for a time, they were doing 4 nights in places when they had SmackDown and Raw bookending the weekends.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense that like SummerSlam is the first event that you extend to 2 nights because of its distance from WrestleMania. They kind of feel like they're two opposite ends of a yearly calendar that you can peak and demand that sort of attention from an audience. But the Rumble is a bigger show traditionally than SummerSlam. There's a lot more anticipation for the Rumble than there is for SummerSlam, and I think audiences will ticket sales will reflect that. The fact that you also have 2 Royal Rumbles that you could split between the men and the women almost makes it perfect, for a 2-night event. And I think it's only a matter of time, depending on who's willing to pay for it.
You could basically have 8 matches between 2 nights, and those are in a WWE pacing like that. That's a 3.5-hour show right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So anyway, this is probably just a sign of things to come, but it's
really quite impressive. Like, I mean, this stuff was kind of happening even before TKO, but especially after TKO, seeing the types of moves they're making. I mean, they really are a pretty well-oiled business.
Mark Shapiro was ecstatic today, wasn't he?
Yeah, I'll bet. Mm-hmm.